And welcome back to Bros and Birdies, the golf podcast. And now for the preview of this week's tournaments or previews. Live UK is at the private JCB Golf and Country Club, sandwiched between Stoke-on-Trent and Uttoxeter in the northwest of England, 70 miles-ish just outside of Liverpool. Many would have seen this course if you'd watched the Rick Shields and Tommy Fleetwood video on YouTube. They played a match. If you have not watched, go and have a look. It's great. It gives you a great insight into what is a beautifully manicured and challenging course. The weather's going to be calm, bit of reprieve from last week for sure, with the odd shower. Course designer is Robert Heisman. You might know Robert from the European Design Group. He designed Celtic Manor as well as Woburn's Marquis. Plus, he had many redesigns of courses such as Le Golf National, Wentworth West, and Crons Cessieux. So he's a well-known character. It is a great course. My picks, you're going to tell us a little bit about the course, hopefully, but my picks based on plotters of a golf course and great imagination of the putter with many undulations on the greens from when I watched the video. Like I said, it's a private golf course. No one's seen this before, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, isn't it just? And first off, I'm just going to say absolutely gutted that neither of us can be there this week. It was originally on our agenda, but unfortunately, other private matters have come to call and we can't make this week. However, I'm sure we'll be getting to watch little bits of it and stuff. But listen, it's going to be a great setup. As you say, you've called out where it is in the UK, very different to obviously where it's been the last couple of years at Centurion Club down in the southeast of England. But this course was open for play in 2018. It's a par 71 and it's 7,255 yards on the yardage book. And you're absolutely right, bro. This, I think, has got the absolute makings of a golf course for someone who can not only just plot their way around the golf course, but also that there's the risk and reward element that's on offer here. And we know Bryson loves a risk and reward setup. But to that point, there are two par fours that are potentially drivable. The second at 337 and the 12th at 302. The second has a bunker in the center of the fairway. And there's bunkers lining both sides of the fairway as well. But it is one of those really aesthetically pleasing holes when you look at the flyover, as I have done here. And obviously you referred to the Shields play with Tommy Fleetwood. You know, it's a real well manicured course, as you say, great setup. But this second hole has the opportunity to really be risk and reward. And the 12th, as I've called out, it has a dangerous brook, Alders Brook, actually, as it's called on, and it goes on many of the holes to the right and the front of the green. But at 302 yards, I'm pretty sure you're going to see some players really trying to attack. And maybe those players, if they're trying to make up ground on the field, might be doing that more often than not. The third hole itself has the famous Uttoxeter Canal running alongside the green to the right. And that's a real feature on this course. But the setup of it is just absolutely brilliant. And the signature hole, as I'm sure anybody that's looked at this course will know, that it's the 17th. The par 3 17th, 250 yards long, roughly, with a 30-yard drop from tee to green. Some are making real comparisons to the 17th at Sawgrass. And I'd say, well, I can see that because it's pretty much an island green, but it isn't. You know, the actual green itself, you know, you've got a lot more width to it. And you've got areas, collecting areas, and you've got more bunkers around it as well. So
who are these people that made the comparison?
I don't know. It's like, I can see why they're trying
Stevie
to.
Wonder.
Because it's exactly. And David Blunkett. But, you know, it's just, you know, it's not the same as the 17th at Sawgrass by any stretch of the imagination, but it is going to be a challenge. And it's certainly going to be, I think, one of those pivotal holes here at this tournament this week. I say, absolute shame we're not going to be there, but it is what it is. And it's going to be a great golf tournament. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. I, myself, have only got one outright pick and one team pick. But is there anything you want to add, bro, to the context of JCB this week?
No. I think you've
Nope.
covered it. If you want to go and have a look at it, have a look at the YouTube video, Rick Shields. Very interesting. And you get to see the layout of the course. Definitely a plotter's course. Right. Shall I go in there with a couple and then you come in with your first? Because I've got three.
Oh, you got three outrights?
No, two outright. Sorry. I can't count.
Okay.
My first is a boring one. I'm going to go for it because I think he wins comfortably. I think it's John Rahm. He was seriously impressive last week, showed signs of the Rahm we know. Yes, he's been consistent on live this season, but he's admitted that he's not been at his best. And he said after Sunday that he's excited to get back out there. His game feels like where it should be. And I think at 13-2 to one of the world's best golfers who can plot his way around, which he's going to need to do, I think is a bit of value. My second pick is Ian Poulter. Now, you might frown at that.
Oh my God.
150-1, but he's been over in the UK for a while now, and he has played JCB many times. Right,
with his feet up in front of the fireplace.
We've heard that.
Drinking some vino
with some of his majestic teammates. That head start on this course will hopefully pay dividends, and I think Poulter could get up there at 150-1. He might not win, but if you're getting 5 places, 150-1 in that size of field, I think it's a bit of value for Poulter.
Unbelievable. I think there's more chance of David Blunkett becoming Prime Minister than there is an Ian Poulter winning at JCB this week, in my honest opinion, or in my humble opinion, should I say.
More chance of Kamala
you're not
Harris.
listening to this. Well, yeah, and that as well. But yeah, listen, for anybody that's listening to this, if Poulter wins, if Poulter wins, right, I will run naked down the middle of Uttoxeter High Street next year.
Poulter, do not win, whatever you do.
Absolutely. Anyway, listen, let's get on to my outright pick for this week. I'm going to stick with the Spanish theme. It isn't John Rahm, but it's Sergio. And I've not got my eyes closed, but it is Sergio Garcia. I'll tell you what, that performance at Live Valderrama was outstanding. I know he won in a playoff, but you said earlier on about the putting, and, Garcia's won at Augusta, and you need to putt really well on those greens at Augusta. And I think there's a lot of undulations on these greens here at JCB, and he's in a rich vein of form. He's super confident. I think at 12-1, almost double the price of John Rahm this week, Sergio goes very, very close. And my other pick from the team perspective is that his Fireballs team win again this week in England. And it's a Sergio Fireballs 1-2 for me.
Interesting.
Or 1-1. Exactly.
1-1, 1-2, 4-2-2, 4-4-4, 4-4-4, 5,
Southgate.
5-5. Right, let's move over to PGA Tour. Which way is it? That way. Blaine, Minnesota, in the sort of north midwestern of the United States of America. It is the 3M TPC Twin Cities. Now, unlike last week, plenty of birdies, as you usually see on the PGA Tour, are on offer here in Blaine. What can you say about the course, man?
Well, it's a par 72, just a shade over 7,100 yards long, pretty short for tour standards. But again, it's another one of these bland go-getter courses. We're going to see, really, really, low under par scoring here this week. I'm pretty sure it's one of those courses that doesn't get me excited. 3M, Tony Finau loves it here. He won in 2022. He's had some other good course form to go with that. But yeah, it's not one of those tournaments that I'm getting excited about this week back on the PGA Tour. Obviously, we don't have any DP World Tour this week, as we talked about last week.
Yeah, so, but can I add something to that? It's rubbish. I don't understand. There's plenty of scope and room to have a tournament in Wales, for argument's sake, or somewhere around that to continue the links theme from the Renaissance to the Open. And there's plenty of open course, links courses they could have used for a tournament, right? Maybe a Pro-Am also, I don't know. But to not have something on for so long on a DP World Tour is beyond ridiculous, in my opinion. But that's just me.
No, absolutely. It is what it is, right? And we have to deal with the fact that we've only got one PGA Tour event to run us alongside Live. And yes, we know we've got the Senior Open. We'll come to that very briefly in a minute. But I've got 4 picks this week. I've just given one away. I think Tony Finau at 10-1. He played some decent stuff on and off last week at times, but he has got a real liking for this course, and I think he can turn up and just throw some darts. And I know it's not original. It's a 10-1 favourite shot, but I'll have a go on the 10-1. With the profit position that we're in this year, and he's my first play. What about yours?
Hey, my first. After looking at it, right, it's going to be hard for a lot of the players that were playing over at Royal Troon. Tiring of weeks as you can get. Then there's the travelling. Some of them may struggle. Some might be still running on adrenaline, right? Like Billy Horseshoe. He's playing some lovely golf right now and will be buoyed by being in those final groups for the best major in golf. And he talked about it. He loved being in that position. Billy is a confident golfer. When he's in the right mood, he's a confidence man. And at 28-1, I think he'll be up there again. Oh, I might. Can I just add that some of my picks, my research is based on Copperhead, the Valspar, and TPC Craig Ranch, where obviously they play the CJ Cup Byron Nelson now. So it's a little bit of that involved, a little bit of intuition, hunch, tiredness, who's playing well, who's not playing well, but all brought together. Billy Horseshoe's the first.
Okay. Excellent. Right, I'll go into my second one. It's the Ogie. It's Tom Hoge, and he's 33-1. Tom Hoge tied 3rd in June at the Travellers. I know it's not at the 3M, but that's about as good as form you're going to get from Tom Hoge this year. And I'm just kind of hoping that he comes back into some form. He has got smatterings of form here around this course, and at 33-1, I'm going to take a bit of a pump with Hoge and see if we can get him over the line, the okie dokie.
He spent arm stretch, rah, rah, rah to that one. Right. Matt Wallace seems to have found some of his ball striking ability. And for me, including you're looking at Valspar and TPC Craig Lines I talked about, he's a good price, 75-1 for Matt Wallace, second pick.
Okay, excellent. My third pick this week is Emiliano Grillo. He's 50-1, and he loves this place just as much as Tony Finau does. His recent form isn't great, though, so he's probably in the same boat as Hoge, but I'm hoping they can both get themselves out of the boat with the paddles that they've got. But he's 50-1 Grillo, and when he gets his putting stick going, he's a little bit of a force to be reckoned with, and I'm hoping this week he could show a little bit of form. He's my third.
Fair enough. Okay, my third pick is Martin Laird, the Scotsman. He's been over there for a long time now. He's shown form at some comparable courses as well as here. TPC Twin Cities, including second last year. He hasn't had the greatest of seasons, bro, right? We understand that. But plenty of birdies last week in the Stableford Barracuda. I think he's playing a bit better. I think he'll score a lot. And I think at 150-1 for a guy who likes this course is big. Martin Laird, third pick.
Yeah, we know with Martin Laird, he can throw a tournament in every now and again at a very, very big price.
And he's won 4 times on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, he has spread over a quite wide-ranging career, but yeah, nevertheless, he's still a 4-time winner on the PGA Tour. Shows that you can absolutely do it. Talking about winners on the PGA Tour, we come to my fourth pick. He won here last year and was 16th the year before. It's Lee Hodges. Again, he hasn't had the best of form over the last 2 months, but I do always like someone who can come back to a place where they've won before and had some success. And at 70-1, I mean, in a field like this, and you get last year's winner at 70-1, it's obviously being reflected because of his form this year. But I think Hodges could perform this week back in a place that he likes, and he's 70-1. Why would you not go for that? So he's my last play at TPC Twin Cities.
Okay, my last play is last week's winner, Nick Dunlap. I mean, he's become the first person to win as an amateur and a pro in the same PGA Tour season. He's quality, and he showed that again last week. He took a while to settle after his heroics in the Amex, but has had some good finishes since and made no less than 23 birdies and 1 eagle last week. That sort of game, that sort of ball striking is going to get him somewhere this week. And at 40-1 for last week's winner, already won twice this season on the PGA Tour. in this sort of field, I think is huge for this talented graduate. Done that.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, well, that was a good win last.
Right, let's switch from the PGA Tour to something more along your lines, brother. The Senior Open. Right, switching back across Scotland from the west coast to the east coast, just north of St Andrews, just east of Dundee. It's going to be a difficult week for the seniors. Once again, the wind is going to blow a little, and it's on one of golf's toughest links. Wind's going to be similar to last week. It's going to be a war of attrition. I'm going to jump straight in with 3 picks this week. Harrington is the obvious pick, but
yeah,
I'm thinking I'm going to look outside of that. He's a bit short. Going to go for a bit of value. So I'm going to go Alex Checker to 22-1, played well last week. Darren Clark loves a links course, loves Carnoustie, 28-1. And Hendy with the power. Punchy, likes to punch those shots. Don't forget, he grew up in Australia on those courses where he's punching it along in the links. He's, it's 33-1 for Hendy. I'd like to see Hendy get a major. They're my 3.
No, absolutely. Well, we've got Carnoustie this week, or Carnoustie as it's really called, and it is going to be probably nasty at different stages. And we had that, didn't we, last year on the Senior Open at Royal Porthcawl. I think when Shaker won actually last year, didn't he? But it was, a real war of attrition in the weather. Significant over par scoring, winning score. And I'm thinking along the same lines as you as well, bro. Is I thought Harrington, strong performance from Padraig Harrington last week, as you will get at a links course from the man from Ireland, who's obviously won Opens before. But yeah, at 9-2, it's probably hard to get invested in. But you've got to say he is probably the out-and-out favourite. And I've also gone for Alex Chaker as well. I think when you look at Senior Open form, it's really a thin end of the wedge in terms of those players that I think can feature. You're talking about the likes of Bernhard Langer, you're talking about Paul Broadhurst, Darren Clark, as you've called out. They're probably the players that are really going to be up there. I don't know what's happening with Ernie Els. He had a withdrawal last week, up in Scotland. And yeah, the fact that you're drinking beer is just, really getting me thirsty now. But I'm with you. I think Padraig Harrington, and also the fact that we've got Alex Chaker. I think they're my 2 picks. Alex Chaker at 22-1, I think, is a decent price to go with this week. So they're my 2 at Carnoustie.
Okay, well, we might not be here next week due to the fact that it's the Olympics. We might decide to do something for the Olympics. We might get involved in that if we feel like we need to and ought to. And if we've got anything to talk about, who knows? There might be an agreement between PIF and the PGA Tour come between today and next week. I don't know. But anyway, a lot of golfers going for those 5 rings and going for the golden medal. Right, let's leave it there, shall we? It's been great to speak to you again. Hope you enjoyed listening to us or watching us on YouTube. Available on Spotify and all the platforms you get your podcasts from, and YouTube, as we said. Please subscribe, click the button below, leave a comment, get involved, and we look forward to speaking to you next time on Bros and Birdies, the golf podcast.